guys, I'm getting ready to head out in the shop. It's actually way later than I thought it was going to be. But, you know, things happen. And I got all the garbage taken care of from the last room of the arcade that I'm working on. That's all taken to the dumpster. I had to make a couple pole position screen bezels, the cardboard bezels that go in there. Those are now on the website. So you can order one for pole position. You can order one that will fit kangaroo, dig dug, or Arabian. Okay, those three are the same. I have those on the website. Or you can order a blue centipede one. Those will take a little bit longer. I need to get more blue matting. I put some stickers on there. MCR bracket for the sound. The volume knob and stuff that goes inside the cabinet here. You can buy the bracket, you can buy the sticker. There's several things on there, and there's obviously still a couple Troy's Arcade Restoration shirt designs on there. The Halloween one is still available till the end of the month. Also, there's a ton of other shirts. Well, not a ton yet, but every couple days, more and more stuff gets added to the website. So if you guys are interested in any other kinds of shirts other than Troy's Restoration shirts, or know anybody who does, or, you know, if you want a custom shirt made, we can do that. You know, if your wife or your son, your daughter, anybody interested in certain kinds of shirts, you know, or if you have a design that you're interested in having made, you can send a message on the website and we'd be more than willing to help you out. So everything is direct to film print, and it's heat pressed onto the shirt. So it's basically almost like screen printing, but without the mess. You know what I mean? It's a lot less messy. They're all Gildan shirts made in the USA, not crap material. They're nice quality, thick shirts. So if you guys are interested, check out the website, slightlyunhinged84.com. I will put it in the description. So yeah, keep that in mind. If you wouldn't mind checking out the website, we're trying to start a website online. We had a store in Geneva on the Lake for years that we sold a bunch of product out of, and we are getting away from that and going to the online thing. So if you guys are interested, please check it out. Also, I made some of these fuse holder covers for Atari games. If you go on the website, you'll be able to see all this stuff. It's uploading right now. Most of it should be uploaded. But these cardboard covers that cover the fuse holders on the power bricks for the Atari games, I made some of those as well. I can always make more. I'm going to keep adding more and more stuff as I think about it, of what I can make. And obviously, she's going to keep adding new shirt designs that she comes up with as well. So if you guys wouldn't mind, check it out. I'd really appreciate it. Even if you don't buy anything, just check it out, because you never know. You might see something that you know somebody might be interested in. So I'm going to turn everything off down here and head out to the shop. And we're going to get that fiberglass work done on that pinball cabinet, and then that thing will be complete. Tanning bed's not leaving until tomorrow. My son just got home from work. He came over. He lives across the street from me now. Literally, I walk down there. But me and him tomorrow night are going to move this tanning bed over to his house. We got to take it apart to get it out of the basement. So that's going to be leaving tomorrow. And then, I mean, I'm pretty much ready to start the electrical work in here. I got to frame in one wall in front of this brick wall. I'd like to leave the brick, but unfortunately, I have to frame a wall in front of it because I need plugs. So the rest of the basement's completely covered anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So, all right, I'm going to quit rambling, get out there, and we're going to get this thing fiberglassed up and go on from there. So I will see you guys in a few minutes. All right, guys, out in the shop. Hold on. Sorry, my tripod was loose. I had to tighten it up. Okay, let's unclamp this, see how it looks. And then that's all I really need to do is just fiberglass this in. I gotta get a piece of plexiglass. There's plastic rails that clip in the sides here. Once you put the plastic rails in there, that's what holds the glass in place. So, and I might cut these two down, maybe a 1/2 inch or so. I don't know how long the plastic brackets are. I don't know if they're gonna hit this or not. It worked pretty damn good, guys. A little soft right there. So I think once I fix this, I'm gonna put a little glue there and I'll reclamp it tonight. But all this is nice and solid now. So that actually worked really well. Somebody had sent me a message earlier and said, hey, try watering down the glue, which that's a good idea too. I can also do that. But this held good, so I'm happy with that. We'll squirt a little bit in there and we'll reclamp that tonight. But now that that's all sturdy, let me go see what I have for a piece of plexiglass. But I'm gonna take my angle grinder first and grind that groove out because I see a little bit of glue in it. And just want to make sure that I should have took one of the plastic rails just to verify it, but that's okay. I'm going to leave these the more I think about it, because if these two little blocks are in the way of the plastic rail, to be honest with you, we just cut the plastic rail too. So whichever, it's not a big deal, I don't think. Okay, that cleaned that out nicely. I think that's about the thickness of a piece of plexiglass. All right, I got this marquee we can use. This fancy, perfect billiards marquee. No gambling allowed, no minors allowed. No sitting on the tables, guys. Let's see if it fits. Let's try it on this side first. Actually, that's a perfect frickin' fit. There's still a little bit of glue in there. Ah, crap. Broke my cutting wheel. Good thing I have a couple hundred of them. I got it with my knife. So this goes past a little bit. So what I'm gonna have to do is from like here down and then move it down some after it dries. But this whole front edge is just screwed. I'm gonna grab my little angle grinder and we're gonna rough that wood up a little bit because clearly it's kind of smooth right now. And I want to have some sort of a texture on it for that fiberglass to hold to. And apparently I've already lost my safety glasses somewhere. So I got that going for me. Where the heck did I just put those things? Oh, I didn't break my wheel. Huh. Look at that. I got lucky. Still don't know where I put my safety glasses, but oh, here they are. I need a new hose end. That's it, just a little bit to roughen it up. We're gonna mix up some short strand fiberglass now in the messy workbench once again, guys. got to be good at something. And I'm good at making the messy workbench. This is what happens when you have 10 projects a day going on. Short strand Bondo from Harbor Freight. I'm sorry, short strand fiberglass Bondo brand from Harbor Freight. It's $20 a quart. I wonder if this is all I have. This is all I have in here. Not a ton, but should be enough. We're gonna have to top over it with some the glazing filler anyways. So we just wanna get it built up with this first for strength. Yeah, we got enough because I still have some in there to mix up once I move that plexiglass up higher. Now I'm hoping that this doesn't stick to the plexi, which it shouldn't. The plexi should come right out. But by doing this with the plexi, I don't have to try to router in a new groove, because that would be a little bit of a pain on the side of the cabinet like that to do. All right. Remember to fold your filler over, don't stir it. I remember like back in the day, John from John's Arcade used to stir it in the lid. And every time I watched that, I was like, oh man, he's just creating air bubbles for himself. You know, but you wouldn't know. I mean, the instinct is to stir something, you know what I mean? To make it all, the two mesh together. You stir it. You know, you make a coffee, you stir your coffee. Same thing. I'll bet you I probably stirred filler back in the day. I just don't remember because I've been doing it for over 30 years. But I'll bet you I freaking probably did do that until I was taught differently. The guy who actually taught me a lot of body work, he taught me how to paint. Every day after work, he worked in the body shop, and he would come over to my shop and teach me something every night after work. And he ended up passing away about a week and a half ago. He was an alcoholic, unfortunately, and it caught up with him, and he ended up passing away from alcoholism at 58 years old. Sad way to go, man. I'm so thankful I don't really drink. I mean, you know, once or twice a year, but, you know, he would drink like 12 to 24 beers every single day of the week. I don't know how you can physically function like that, but it's what he did, you know. Just the way it is sometimes. Here long enough for me to mud this. This shouldn't be too long of a video. I gotta build this up pretty good. And I'm probably gonna have to use this again because I'm gonna have to use some of that glazing filler. Just want the base of it to be this stuff so that it's strong. I'm kind of eyeballing how thick it needs to be. actually going to mix up a little bit more and run it like this to build that edge up. I'll be right back. This stuff is at the bottom of the can. It's a little stiff. I could put some fiberglass resin in here, but I kind of want it to be a little thicker because it won't want to droop down on me. Figured I might as well clean out the T-molding groove. Then I won't have to router that either. All right, I'm gonna let this set. Come back probably in about 5-10 minutes and we'll pull that plastic out of there. Probably help if I pause the camera. All right, let's see if this comes off. I haven't even checked the feel this to see if how dry it is yet. Okay, it's still a little sticky. Definitely hot. Question is can I get this off? Uh-oh. Now I done did it. Need a hammer. This is not how this is supposed to work. Whew. That bad boy was stuck. Now I gotta let this dry a little bit more. All right, let's sand this down. I'm gonna open the garage door. Okay, now I gotta mix up some icing, glazing filler, whatever you want to call it, so that we can fill in these thinner spots here. Now, this is a little bit weak, okay, but you gotta keep in mind, we're adhering to a piece of 16th inch wood, okay? We don't have much to work with here. Other than making a whole new side of the cabinet. We're not making a whole new side of the cabinet. So what I'm gonna do is after we get this body worked, I think I am going to put the T-molding back on for him, and I'm gonna hot glue it into the groove, okay? And what that's gonna do is firm up this area on the inside. It's strong, but it does wiggle a little bit. So to be on the safe side, I wanna glue that in, and then he could just tape it off to paint that green. That's not going to be an issue. You just run some painter's tape on it and then paint it green. He's probably just going to use a paintbrush or a roller, so it's not going to be a big issue. So let me get some, I think I'm going to use some regular body filler first. We'll mix up some of that and get this filled in. I don't know if there's much I'm going to be able to do with that. I think what I'm going to do with this is I'm just going to squirt some glue in there, and we're going to body filler over it. And then once the glue dries, I think it's going to be just fine. Now, that's the downfall with some of this stuff that gets wood, this wood that gets rotted like this, because what do? You know what I mean? You're probably not going to find artwork stencils for the sides of this cabinet. You know what I'm saying? So you got to kind of do with what you have. You got to kind of make what you have work. So I'm going to mix up some regular body filler, and we're going to put a coat of that on there, and then we'll be back to sand that down. All right. Let's see how badly I can get this stuck again. Good news is it fits in there really, really nicely. I have to maybe pull it out a few minutes quicker. This is just regular body filler from Summit Racing. If you guys ever need body filler, order it from Summit Racing. You can get the lightweight body filler for like $30 to $40 a gallon. You go to the parts store, it's going to be 60, 80 bucks. So if you're willing to wait a day or two for shipping, they ship extremely fast. You're going to save yourself almost half the amount of money. Now, fixing up this cabinet, we're just trying to make it solid again. We're not trying to win any restoration awards. Just trying to preserve it. All right, I'll let that dry, sand it down, and hopefully we're good. See what happens. I'll be back in like 5 minutes so we can try to get that plexi out. Been less than 5 minutes. Hopefully it's not too dry and not too wet. See? That's how it's supposed to work. So now I'm gonna let it dry for another 10 minutes and we'll sand it down and see what it looks like. with you here shortly. About 15 minutes left, 20 minutes left. If you want me.
What do you want?
All right, it's actually pretty sturdy. We're still gonna hot glue it in, and then I'll wipe it down with some lacquer thinner, just to give it some extra strength. Better be safe than sorry, you know? A little bit of dust stuck in there. Should be able to get it out. The glue gun's warming up right now. So the hot glue is just a little trick. If you have some T-molding that is a little loose in your groove, or if your wood is a little bit weak around the T-molding, fill it with some hot glue and pound it in there, and it'll be good to go. This side might be fine. Actually, that side feels fine. Old T-molding, you don't have to use a rubber mallet on. It doesn't leave marks. It's so hard that it just doesn't leave marks on it anymore. The new stuff is more rubbery. Now I'm probably going to put a little glue around the bottom front edge just to make sure it doesn't pop loose. Okay, so now my glue gun's ready. So we only want to put about 8-10 inch slot at a time. You get too far ahead, it starts drying on you, and then you have a hell of a time getting it in. Now, just because this is hot glued in doesn't mean it's permanently stuck in there. You could still get it back out if you need to. This guy fixes games for the average person who doesn't want to spend a ton of money on a game, you know, just wants to have a couple games in their house. They don't need to have show pieces. There's nothing wrong with that. Falling over here. Yeah, I knew that one of these fronts were a little loose. So if it's a little loose, just hold it for a minute until the glue sets up, and you can release it. All right, now I just gotta blow this thing out, and I am done with it. Actually, no, I'm gonna go grab some lacquer thinner too. Let me blow it out first, and then we'll take some lacquer thinner and wipe down the T-molding, make it look a little nicer. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna lay this, oh, you know what, I gotta put this latch back in there. I'm gonna lay this on its side. I'm gonna blow the dust out that way. That'll make it easier to get it out. And then we'll flip it back up and clean the T-molding. Look at that nice new bottom on there. Okay. Got a mess in the shop once again. Clean that up tomorrow. Let me go grab some lacquer thinner and straighten this up. Stupid floor is unlevel. Some tape. I'll probably just bring this to him tomorrow. I'm going to message him because I am not going to be too far from where his shop is, from where I'm working tomorrow. I got 2 jobs to do tomorrow. Well, I gotta do a quick job in the morning, and then I gotta run to that rental property, put another coat of drywall mud on. But my first job's only like 10 minutes, 15 minutes from his shop, so I'll probably just load this in my van so he doesn't have to drive all the way out to me. Kind of dumb for him to drive out to me if I'm only 15 minutes from him. All right, a little bit of filth came off. Looks better. So that's it, guys. Nothing crazy. Just a little sprucing up, make it solid again. But you can see how that is all ready to go now for some paint. You know, there might be a couple little tiny little nicks in my body work, but once again, we're not making it a showpiece. We're not going to put 10 coats of body filler on it because this side's a little rough as well. But once you put some green paint on it, it'll look good. So, all right, guys. Well, that's going to end this video. Not sure if I'm going to make a video tomorrow or not. I'm going to try to. It might just be a not a real long video. I'll make a point to try to get the rest of the black parts for Sinistar and Robotron painted. I got to get that Impala out of here this weekend. I got to try my best to get it out of here, and I need to get these doors painted on the dually still. So I really got to buckle down this weekend and try to get this stuff accomplished and keep moving forward on the Robotron and Sinistar, because the quicker I get Robotron and Sinistar done, we can do some touch-ups to Centipede, and we can get these 3 on the road and get a couple more here to restore. So thanks everybody, I appreciate it. If you wouldn't mind checking out the website, like I said earlier, even if you don't buy anything, just check it out. There's always updates going to be on the website of more and more stuff. Like I said, if you know anybody looking for anything custom, you know, you have a family of 4 and you're going on vacation and you want matching shirts, we can do that for you. If somebody's having a 40th birthday and you want a special shirt for their birthday, we can do that for you. So just message us on the website and we can go from there. Other than that, I'm going to keep adding parts that I just kind of randomly make here and there when I'm making stuff, and I'll put them on there. If somebody needs parts, you can pick them up on the website. So thanks everybody, I appreciate it. And I am 106 subscribers away from 10,000. So if you know anybody interested, please share my videos to them, or repost them, reshare them, something that would really help. If you wouldn't mind hitting a thumbs up, that also helps. but we're getting close to the giveaway, guys. 106 subscribers away from the giveaway. Once again, if you have not left a message on the giveaway video, make sure you leave a comment on that video so that you can be entered to win one of 3 prizes. Thanks, guys. I'll see you guys later.